And we are back live on this Thursday, wonderful day today. This is Eric and Linda, Workvine 209 live, and I'm Eric.
And I'm Linda, and we're coming from hot Tracy, California, Workvine 209. We're a co-working facility out here for remote workers, startups, entrepreneurs to come out and network and share or have a desk to work out of. In our pivot, we have been doing these live shows and featuring special people, special guests, remarkable people that can maybe help your business. I know the past speakers we had helped my business, helped me personally. So today we have another dynamic guest on our show, and I'm going to have Eric introduce him.
So today's guest is this guy, and I want to say world famous, but he is a real estate entrepreneur. He does real estate all around the country. He is collaborating with other real estate investors. He's collaborating with contractors to make deals happen. And so I'm just going to welcome him because, I mean, there's so much to say, and I want him to tell his story so that you guys will know who he is, what he does, and if you want to learn about real estate investment, this is the guy you want to talk to. So let us welcome Jose Andrades.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing freaking phenomenal. Hey, Mr. Eric, I gotta say happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, brother.
On your show on your birthday, man. I feel honored.
Yeah, it's all good, man. I never work on my birthday, man, but this, the game's changed a little bit.
Well, good thing you love what you do, so it doesn't feel like work, right?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yes. You got some people out there watching, looks like. Hey.
We got some people joining the show. Yes. I shared it to Facebook. We try to get some people on here. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. So share your story a little bit about how you became this real estate entrepreneur.
Oh man. All right. Well, my story started when I was younger than before I got into real estate, right? So growing up, for me, I was sports is my first love, right? Sports was my passion. That's what I thought I was going to be doing in college. Unfortunately, when I was in high school, some things happened, a little bit of a knucklehead, right? And so didn't really finish out high school the way I wanted, right? I didn't get to walk the stage. I didn't get to do any of those things that I would have liked to experience. But what I did find was my first experience to entrepreneurship. When I wanted to get my license, because I was a knucklehead, my mom told me no, right? So what I decided to do was go buy my first car. I was like, well, my logic was if I buy my car, she can't tell me whether I can drive it or not, us kids, right?
Yeah.
And I bought my first car and I doubled my money in a couple weeks. I bought it for like $900. I sold it for $1,800. It was a 1989 Camaro RS T-top stick shift. I was really into that. And that was how I first learned to take a liability, right? Something that cost me money to have and turn it into something that made me money. Yeah. I was like, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed flipping cars and making money work for me. Well, when you turn 18, society tells you what? You either go to school or you get a job, right? Yeah. And, I wanted to do well and do those types of things. So I decided that I was going to get a job, right? I started off working 10 hours a week for a welding company, mopping floors.
Wow.
I would drive to Lathrop, which is 30, 35 minutes where I live, to mop floors 10 hours a week, right? And what I did was, that was my first exposure to small business. So, it was a smaller company, and I was seeing this guy, Tom, shout out Tom if he's watching, making moves in business and money that I haven't seen before, right? Yeah. Really started diving into that, learning how to weld. I learned how to do fabrication, run CNC machineries, did a lot of metal work. And even though I loved getting cuts and burns and working in 100-degree weather in a warehouse, right? I knew I would never make 7 figures in that position. And I knew that I had a challenge with somebody telling me how much vacation I could take per year, right? When I had to be somewhere, and so I started looking at other things. And, we've seen those, fix and flip TV shows, all those different things. I was like, well, if I could flip a car, why can't I flip a house? That's my thinking. Just a few zeros, you know, not a big deal. So we started looking into real estate, and my first exposure was like one of these workshops, right? You know, they fly in this instructor who makes X amount of money, and I was there in a room. I was 22 years old at the time, right? So I've been working 4 years already, and I was already tired of my job. Walk in, there's 100 people in there learning about how to buy properties with no money, no credit, right? Taking over mortgages, equity sharing, agreement for deeds, all these different strategies that you could purchase real estate without any of your own money or credit, right? We always hear that, but actually putting into practical use. Well, I was making $22,000 a year at the time. So I was like, well, shoot, if I don't need millions of dollars to get into real estate, this is where I'm going to make it at, right? And so, I just jumped in full force. I mean, I got completely obsessed with real estate. I mean, I would work from 7 to 3:30. I would work on my business. I would study after hours, 1, 2 in the morning. Like, I kid you not, Eric and Linda, I would dream of real estate because it had so much overtake on me. Well, I worked my butt off for the first year and I didn't see no results, not in monetary value. Sometimes we overlook when we're starting a new company or new business, the progress we make with in other values, right? My communication, leadership, having a vision for my life rather than just dwindling in the wind. And so first year it was a real struggle. And then right after that, right after my 1 year mark, I bought my first house, or I did a wholesale using that same strategy that I learned in that first workshop, right? So it's not just about learning, it's about applying, right? Yeah. And I made $7,000 in like 2 weeks, never owning the property and never putting any money down. And I was like, $21,000 a year or 2 weeks, $7,000.
That's a no-brainer, huh?
Makes sense, and not only that, so it gave me an opening. And then why I love real estate though is we're more purpose driven than over profits, right? What people don't understand is if you're trying to, make it in real estate, if you come from a place of helping people rather than trying to make money, you're gonna go a lot further. Yeah. And so when I tell people, when you're just starting off in real estate, one of the easiest things to do is just tell everybody you're in real estate, right? Yeah. Don't be shy. We told our family, me and my business partner at 22 years old, that, hey, we're in real estate. Well, do you think everybody thought we were going to do well? Of course not. Everybody's like, oh, okay, cute kids, Yeah. Well, what's interesting, right, is we had my partner had a grandfather who owned a bunch of real estate, multiple properties in an area. And he owned this one particular property that had tenants in it. It's a beautiful Victorian duplex. Well, come to find out, we found out it was in foreclosure a week before auction, right? It was $26,000 in foreclosure a week before auction. Now, who do you think our family then called?
They called
right?
Jose.
They called us, right? A year and a half later, and we were able to not only get that property out of foreclosure, we were able to save it, right? Because we were able to come out of service, but it needed about $120,000 worth of work. And this was our first project, right? I mean, it was so bad that Red Cross came and took the tenants out. The sewer backed up. It had lead. It had foundation issues. So I don't recommend taking on a project that big at first, but we did not care, right? We went for it. And because we came from that and telling everybody where we were at, and we surrounded ourselves with the right people, we were able to the grandfather passed away, right? And one of the strategies that we learned in that first workshop was taking over a property subject to the existing mortgage. So we actually took ownership over the property, but the debt of the mortgage stayed in the deceased grandfather's name.
Wow.
Right. So it's it gave us some confidence, like, hey, if this thing goes haywire, at least the debt is still in the grandfather's name. He passed away, bless his soul. But I felt like he kind of helped us out, right? Like in a way, because we went and we renovated that property. We got everybody out. We refinanced. We're all in right now, I think at 340, and we just got it appraised a few months ago for 675. Wow. We still and we took a line of credit out. Since then, we've been able to do a pretty good amount of transactions, right? I've been able to do this full time since 25. So I started at 22. I'm 28 now.
Wow.
Do it full time with my pops, right? We're getting my mom into a position where she can take a position and come full time. And so to say real estate changed my life, man, would be a complete understatement. I mean, we've done a gamut of things. So real estate to me is that vehicle to do what you're looking to do, right?
So yeah,
my story of how
I mean that's a great story. And I know earlier you said you had an opportunity to fire your boss. So how did that feel?
Yeah, so 22 years old. At 25, we already did that. That project. We had renters, and what happened was the job. It was a different job than the one I started. So I've had 2 jobs my whole life, right? And they let go of me because of big corporate politics, right? Something. And then he invited me back. Well, the thing was, I looked at it as an opportunity to go all in, right? I said, why not now? I'm 25 years old. I didn't have any real responsibilities per se. And so he offered me a job back. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Right. I'm going to go ahead and say no to that. And I got to go full force. He's a good friend of mine, but just seeing him build his company, it gave me the confidence to go ahead and do that. And we did a couple real estate deals and we had some rental properties. So we decided it was time for me to go ahead and go full force and go ahead and fire my boss at 25, man. So definitely a blessing. So yeah, it's been quite a journey so far.
So we're not telling everybody to go fire their boss just yet.
I wouldn't recommend it.
At some point, if that's what you want to become an investor in real estate, or you want to own your own business, at some point, get stable before you just go and tell your boss bye-bye. But yeah, so you've been doing a lot of investing. Can you share a little bit like what people would need to get started? So if someone wanted to start investing in real estate, what would be the first steps that you would advise?
That's a really good question, actually. And the number one thing is, obviously, I would suggest you get educated first and foremost, right? Make sure you're getting, and not just knowledge, right? But the right knowledge. One of the things one of my mentors told me is understand the information you're getting, who's it coming from? Do they have the results that you want? Do they have the lifestyle you want? And so I'm still in the trenches, a student in the game. So I would suggest definitely getting the right knowledge. And then you have to surround yourself with the right people, right? If you hang around 4 broke people, you're going to be the 5th, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm hanging around multiple seasoned investors who are playing at a higher level, whether they a little bit or way more than me, I'm rubbing shoulders with these people, right? Hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. And so to me, you got to get the right knowledge and apply it. Of course, I see one of the comments, 100%. And surrounding yourself with the right people, because it's going to have its challenges. Like we've had our lean months when I first went full time, and we still have them, right? It's a different, it's an ebb and flow. So surrounding myself with people who are going to help my perspective, help my mindset. Because to me, this business is 90%, if not 99% mindset, right? I totally full-heartedly believe that. So surround yourself with the right people, getting the right training, and then having the right accountability around the action items you want to achieve whatever goals or desires that is the simplest way you can start off. And then that other one that I mentioned, you got to tell everybody that you're in real estate, right? I would say that majority of us in our lifetime come across a few opportunities from friends and family that we probably could have helped them out with in real estate, but maybe we just didn't know how, right? And if you start looking for opportunity, it'll find you for sure.
I totally agree with you. There was a saying that I remember, and it stuck with me for a long time, is if you want to be a millionaire, you got to hang out with some millionaires, or, if you want to get to that goal, you got to hang around with smarter people. You got to hang around with people that have a little bit more knowledge. You got to associate yourself with people that can pour into you. And then you pay it forward. So then now you're pouring into somebody that doesn't know, maybe it's another 22-year-old, in that same scenario of you. But you, to me, are like a true entrepreneur. You're like you were born to be an entrepreneur. Sometimes it takes, not everybody is an entrepreneur and not everybody can fire their boss, but you can inspire people to maybe go the route you did at it, even for the young people out there, because they need direction too. And sometimes a 4-year college isn't for everybody,
Right.
And other opportunities. So maybe some people don't even know they're an entrepreneur until, they get into a situation like you.
I would totally agree with that, because we're developed in a certain system to be an employee, right? Like, it's just, learn the subject, sit in class, do X, Y, and Z, and go that way. Well, I love learning, but about certain things. So some people don't, when they get into school or they go to college, it's not something that maybe inspires them, or they don't find something that they can build a business around. I mean, we hear about it all the time, right? Find something you love and make a business out of it, because that will get you to that how, right? The why is way more important than the how. And I was lucky enough to be exposed, right? My mom's on here. Say hi, Leslie. Our parents always, uplifted me and had me go for it ever since I was little. And so I think I was lucky enough to be exposed at 22 to see from other people that, hey, there's a different way. This is how you can do it. And I think when you really want something, you'll figure it out, right? You'll find a way, and surrounding yourself with the right people, for sure.
What I definitely hear from you is that you love what you do. You love it. Like, when you talk about real estate, it sounds like you're just so passionate about, what you do. And that's another thing is, for the young folks out there, is do what you love. And, and it doesn't seem like it's work. It just seems like you're just getting up to do what you love.
Yeah.
And it definitely sounds like
you're passionate.
Right.
No, I appreciate it.
At it too. So that's
I appreciate it. I think it goes off to what I said in the beginning. It's purpose over profits, right? Like, if I always sustain that in my mindset, the money's always going to come. When I first started in business, my focus was money. Right. And I didn't get money. So I focused, there's 5 different currencies, right? And we have like knowledge, time, relationships, money is the last. And when I focused on those aspects first, the money flown in. And I just had a conversation with somebody. We're purchasing their property, and they just couldn't thank us enough because they're in a hard situation. So when you can help people out, it definitely makes it fun, right? Instead of just crunching numbers all day. So yeah, I definitely love what we do. I love our team. And it's brought me to meet so many people, right? Like, I met Eric and you guys through real estate, right? And so, I'm having a blast. So
yeah, and it made me really think, like, there's people who have properties and they're in trouble and they don't know what to do and they don't know where to go. But for someone like yourself, you're trying to not just take their property so that they lose, but you're trying to create win-win situations. So, hey, maybe you don't lose your property. Maybe we can help you through this process, and you save your property. We get a little bit, you get a little bit, and everybody's happy. It's not about, okay, let the property foreclose and you lose it. Now I buy it and I resell it and make money. You're creating win-win situations for our community and the surrounding country, right? For that purpose, because I know you're investing, all over this country.
Yeah, no, it's, we call ourselves a real estate solutions company, right? Like, we're a service first. We want to make things convenient when people, some people didn't deserve to be in certain situations. Maybe they inherited a house, or it's a property that just needs tons of work during foreclosure, whatever. We're dealing with a lot of people with COVID right now, right? And whether we purchase their house or not, I'm going to put them in a direction that will hopefully put them in a better situation. And that's just kind of how we approach it. Yeah.
Cool. It is awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. So I know you have meetups quite often. So share a little bit about, how people maybe can connect with you. Maybe come out to your meetups and share a little bit about, what you do.
Yeah, no, for sure. We have our meetup. It's Central Valley Flippers. We're doing everything virtual right now, obviously. And what we have coming up is this we focus a lot on real estate, understanding real estate, and then also like building businesses and financial literacy, because you can make all the money you want in the world. We know a bunch of lottery winners who went broke pretty quickly, right? So that's kind of what we focus on. We have a team here in the Central Valley. We typically meet on a weekly basis. We got one coming up on the 27th. It's a property tour on this house we have in San Jose. We're going to be covering how to find and locate these properties, how to purchase them without any of your money or credit, and how you can flip them to make, we're expected to make 6 figures on this thing, and we didn't put a dime of our own money in it, right? And so we're going to show people, whether you want to, make real estate a business or not, even if you just want to buy your personal home, at a discount, or helping out another family, or take advantage of the opportunities, we're going to pull the curtains back, right, on how we found it, how we funded it, exactly the operations we use, the before and after pictures, right? And so it's going to be really fun. We like to have fun on our meetups, and I love connecting with people, and just sharing some value, right? I understand. And when I got started, there's so many people that sewn into me, and that they still are, right? Like I got a ton of ways to go. And so we're excited to share what we're doing and how you guys can duplicate it, right? It's about making things simple so people can duplicate the results. And that's what we focus on our meetups.
That's good. It seemed like we have Donna. She said, how are you building your business for 2021? It's a good question.
Expansion, right? That's all we're doing. How can we get bigger? My goal right now is creating the right team members, the right systems, so I can hire myself out of my company, right? Like, we have these different, I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys heard of the cash flow quadrants, having business ownership and investor. Well, being a business owner, it doesn't require you to be at the job, right? And that's what we're doing, right? We're focusing on expanding. We're focusing on systems, automation, because we got multiple companies, right? Real estate is just one of our companies. We have a general contracting company, and then we also have a small solar division, and we might have a design division coming up. So too many hats, you're not going to be productive, right? So we're focusing on expanding. We're focusing on growth, moving into bigger projects, less volume. And then hiring out some team members, man. That's what we're doing, and helping more people. Obviously, we're on a mission. So, yeah, we're getting.
Wow! Hey, this guy right here, man. Kai, hey, this is my buddy. He talking about old work right there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh man, this is good stuff. So,
I have a question real quick.
Yeah.
You did say something like hire myself out of the company. That is so good. Talk a little bit more about how, what does that mean?
So hiring people. So I want to be working on my business, not in my business. Does that make sense? I want to be focusing on expansion. How can I expand more? So we just brought on our first acquisition guy this year, Ivan. He's doing really well. Like I said, we partnered with the general contracting company, so I don't have to manage the project as much. Putting the people in place, not so I don't have to do all the small things, and focus on the expansion, right? If somebody can do it at least 70% or 50% as well as I can, at least that frees up my time, right? I know we're always push and pull in different directions, and when you have multiple companies, a family and stuff like that, it can be a lot. Or even if you're working your full-time job and you're just starting off doing something part-time, if I can delegate so I can expand and do more, that's what I'm looking to do, right? I don't want to own a job. I want to own a business. And that's kind of the direction that we're trying to take now. Yep.
Yeah. It's so common for entrepreneurs when they first start up is to work in their business and not on their business. And so I totally get it, because Eric and I have been working in our business because we just started last year, and I'm looking to hire myself out of the company soon. I'm working towards that. So I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, and I think too, starting out, like, you're gonna have to grind it, do everything, right? There's like every seat. I think before you should hire out, you should know the seat of whatever you're hiring out, right? Whether that's receptionist or whatever. You know, I've been in every seat of my business, and and that's how I know. I'm like, I can't do everything, I'm not able to. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on that one.
Cool. So another question, and we asked just about everybody this question, right? This is one that has affected the world globally, right? So how has it affected you with your business?
It punched us in the mouth, right? When we have multiple multi-million-dollar projects going on and they completely shut us down. These properties are not cheap to hold on to, right? And so it definitely slowed us down, especially our construction division. And the property that we're doing the property tour on the 27th, we purchased it during COVID, right? So it slowed us down. And one of the biggest things we had to do was just lead our team to not panic, right? Like, hey, relax. It's a little out of our control, but let's focus on what we can control, because there's not many things. If you focus on things you can't control, you're gonna go crazy. So I said, okay, let's get back to our habits, our routines, our money-making activities, which are the things that produce income. And then also focusing on expanding while everybody is shriveling up. Did we get affected? 100%. Is it still having challenges? Of course. But as an entrepreneur, our job is to solve problems, and our job is to adapt, and our job is to keep going. While everybody is shrinking up, there's going to be somebody who comes out of this way more better. And why can't it be one of us? Right. So that's how we're approaching it. First, lead ourselves, leading our team, and then really focus on our habits. Because I know a lot of people being at home, it kind of threw everybody out of, out of the loop a little bit. Right. And we really focus on our habits, taking care of ourselves mentally and physically, so that we can then perform at work and focus on what we can control, right? So that's how it affected us in ways of slowing down our project. It delayed some other contracts that we were gonna put in. Some sellers are holding off. Some wanted to sell right away, and so we just try to be that light for the clients that we were dealing with, and especially our team, so we can make sure we're producing at the right level, right?
Right. The pandemic has definitely, for us, it was a setback, but for us in our business, a setback, but we're working on our setup for our comeback. So, doing shows like this is helping us with our comeback. So,
I seen you guys, and I thought I was like, wow, that's amazing. I really thought this was, this is going to be something that's going to help out a lot of people. You're providing a ton of value. I love Workvine, going there. You guys have a freaking awesome facility. You guys are awesome people. So anytime I can connect with you guys, I'm going to do it. And I know you guys are going to come out a lot stronger, like we will, right? There's no other options. So
it takes work, and we work hard. That's why I'm here. It's my birthday, and I'm working.
Yeah, exactly.
So hey, so one quick question before we go, right? And you mentioned, okay, I could start being a real estate investor with no money down. So some people out there are saying, how can I do that? What would be the first steps that they would need to take as a potential real estate investor or entrepreneur to start a real estate or investing company? What would that look like? I mean, is that something where they contact you? Is it to come to your meetups?
The first thing I would say is definitely contact me, right? No, I mean, you want to get, and this is exactly what I go over in my meetups, right? And these are 1.5, 2 hour long meetings. Getting connected with somebody who's local, who's doing it, and just learning from them, right? Like learning from their experience. But I can definitely, if you talk to anybody in any of my meetups, I give way more than I take. Like we're just giving pure value, pure content. And then, there's also, we have different platforms in a community. I work with a nationwide team of investors all across the country, right? Where we share contacts, relationships, and resources. I mean, do you think there's going to be some value there? Of course. Absolutely. So we're going to cover not only strategies and tips and tools, but different systems, things you can plug into, where it's not you trying to learn. You don't need to recreate the wheel, right? Real estate is simple in itself, but it's not easy. And these are things that we go ahead and cover. And our meetup, we do something typically every single week. And I would definitely say connect with us. And if I can't help you, I'll point you to somebody who can. That's just how I operate. So
maybe we need to start having those meetups at Workvine.
You know,
I'm down, man. I just give me a little time. I'll put it in the schedule. We're good to go. That's it, man. Yes.
Yeah, and your meetups are fun too because we've attended the game night, and
Yeah,
that was
it is.
Yes.
educational and fun.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah, we like to have fun, right? What's the point if you're not having fun? So
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, great. Any last words or of encouragement to individuals out there who are listening?
Words of encouragement. Yeah, I do. I would say, don't play small. We're all God's children and we all have these potentials and these dreams that we have to tap into. And I think right now is a perfect opportunity. If you're not coming out of this with a skill or a new income stream, you need to look at yourself and connect yourself with the right people, or maybe you're around the right people. But I do think that everybody can be everything that they want as long as they decide and take action to do it. I was just having a conversations with one of my cousins, and he told me, if you would have knew me as that knucklehead, you guys would agree with him. He's like, we did not expect your wife to be here. All right. Wow. Trust me when I tell you this. If I can go from being a knucklehead to having multiple six-figure businesses, honestly, the difference is gonna be persistent, consistent action and time. That's it. Make the decision and run with it. Surround yourself with people like Eric and Linda. Work at Workvine. You're gonna, double your income, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And that's what I would say, man. Just go and do that.
Spoken like a true inspirational speaker.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm inspired.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Jose.
I wanted to do the most viewed show on here, so we gotta get it. I'm gonna share it, we'll put everybody in, and we'll get these views up.
Absolutely. So thank you, man. Thank you, Jose, for coming out, being a part, and sharing about what it took to become, a real estate entrepreneur. And, not just real estate, or investor, but I mean, the overall package, partnering with construction companies, looking at solar, looking at so many different options. And so great to have you on here, man. And thanks for that valuable information. And so we are back on next Tuesday. And next Thursday, we're coming live. I think on Tuesday, we have Beth Devine is going to talk about marketing. And so thank you, Jose. Jose's information, his contact information is in the chat on our live stream. So you can contact him, his website, the tour, if you want to take that tour and take a look at the property over in Oakland. So thank you so much, Jose. Everybody's saying excellent job. Great information.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
man. Have a good one. All right. Talk to you.